All right, you guys, this is Wylie Hawkins here. Today, we're going to go through the financial inventory. It's going to be called the secret financial inventory and trial closes. Long story short, I've been here for about 2 years. When I first got started, one of the biggest things for me that helped me in the home was the financial inventory. And so you guys have probably all used this to some degree. Yours might look a little different than mine. It doesn't matter what you use. We're all gathering the same information. But the financial inventory is crucial in an appointment because it allows you to collect all the data you need to help the family, pair them in the right financial, situation. You get to understand their finances, their health, what they have in place, just like their overall picture, right? So I'm not going to go through what to fill out on the financial inventory, but I'm going to go through the little things that I've added during the questions I asked for the financial inventory and how it's helped me, and I hope this helps you guys today. So there's 4 sections to the financial inventory. Number 1, it's the income, right? So I'm going to dive into that right now. So you obviously gather their name, you gather how much money they make, and then you should always be gathering how much that family has outgoing a month, okay? So I like to break it down and always ask, okay, what's your mortgage payment? How much do you spend on cars? How much do you spend on credit card debt? How much do you spend on alimony? Do you pay child support? How much do you spend in groceries, et cetera, et cetera? So once I get that out, here's a question that I like to ask. I go, have you guys paid off any cars in the past 1 or 2 years or any big credit card notes? And let's say, for example, the family goes, yeah, we actually just ended up paying off our Toyota Corolla. I'm like, awesome. That's great. That's got to feel amazing. They're like, yeah. I'll be like, how much was it a month if you don't mind me asking? They're like, the car payment? I'm like, yep. And they go, well, it's $267. I'm like, okay, perfect. So I write that down, $267. Perfect. And I just leave it there. So once I get that, what I'll do later in the appointment is when I'm going to close them, I always go, guys, so you know how you were paying $267 a month for your car, the Toyota that you had about 6 months ago? They're like, yeah. They're like, so most people actually, since that's not in your budget anymore, that 267, what most people actually do now is they take like half of that payment and they actually just put it towards this insurance so their family's protected and taken care of. Would that make financial sense for you guys? And then they always say yes, because at one point, $267 fit into their budget. Then they paid it off, so that dropped out of their budget. And now you can plug the insurance premium of $267. So that's how you trial close it. So once you find that number, just ask them, hey, so what most families do, Bob and Mary, is that $267 you're paying towards your car, it's no longer in your budget, but you're able to afford it. So we're going to take about half of that, put it towards the insurance premium, just to make sure that your family's taken care of when you pass away. Does that make financial sense? They'll go, yes. Boom. Perfect. So that's trial close number 1. The second thing I ask is savings. If you guys don't ask this, it's super basic, but always ask like, hey, Bob and Mary, how much are you guys putting away roughly every single month? And they'll go, between like $300 to $500. And I go, okay, even on bad months, are you still able to put away $300? They go, yes. I'm like, perfect. Well, hopefully I can get there one day. And then what I ask them is, I'll go, guys, what most people are doing in your situation is you guys are saving $300. Most people just take about $100 from what they save every month and put it towards the insurance premium to make sure their family's taken care of. Would that make financial sense? They go, yes. Okay. So that's how you trial close with the income. All right. Now the third thing is if you guys are doing a mortgage protection appointment, it's going to be pretty much the same thing that I just covered. But once you guys get their mortgage balance, how many years they have to pay left, you'll figure out their mortgage payment. And what I like to ask is, how long ago have you guys refinanced? And some people just say, oh, we haven't refinanced. If they haven't refinanced, I ask, what was your mortgage payment or your rent payment before you moved into this property? And they go, well, here it's $2,000 and we're actually saving some money because our old place was $2,400. Like, okay, so there's a $400 difference there. They go, yes. I'm like, okay, were you able to afford your other home really easily without like any financial stress? And they go, yes. I'm like, okay. Because what we're going to do today, guys, is that $400 difference, we're going to allocate some of that money towards your insurance premium to protect your family. Would that make sense? And they go, yes. Okay. So right there, you've closed them pretty much 3 times in a row, right? So they can never tell you that this won't fit in the budget. And then you're getting agreements early that they want the coverage. They know that they're about to be using $200 or $300 from their car payment they used to spend with insurance. So that's also how you sell bigger premiums. Okay. Now, if they haven't, or if they've refinanced their house, it's pretty much the same thing. You guys just want to find the difference between what they are paying before they refinance and what they're paying currently. So let's say they're paying $2,600 a month before they refinance, and now they're paying $2,200. There's a $400 difference. So you guys have $400 to play around with, and that's how you get big premiums. Okay. So that is like the income and the mortgage or rent questions. All right, I'm going to go down to the bottom section here and go into current life insurance. So you guys already know about that section. You ask them. Actually, I'm just sort of going to role play with you guys so you guys can see what I ask. So, Vanessa, do you guys have anything that acts as life insurance, or do you have any current coverage? And they go, well, we have some at work. Like, okay. And you understand that work coverage, just like a rental car. Obviously, like when you leave work, you know, you can't keep your rental car. If you retire or get sick, they're not going to let you keep the car. So whenever you leave your job, this is no longer going to carry out with you. And they're like, yes. I'm like, okay, perfect. So how long has it been since you've put coverage in place outside of work? Well, we haven't really put any coverage in place. Okay. What's kind of been holding you guys back? Oh, I guess we just never thought about it. Okay. How come this is important to you guys now then? Well, I mean, we're 58 and like we just think that'd be a good idea to have. Like, okay. So you're telling me it's probably a good idea to have this, and it sounds like the main thing that's been stopping you guys, you've just been procrastinating it, right? And they go, yes. Like, okay. Well, wouldn't it make sense to just get it done today then? I go, well, as long as it fits in our budget, yeah. Like, okay, perfect. So at that point, guys, that's how you can create urgency in the appointment. So, for example, you know, if they don't have coverage, ask them, how long have you not had coverage, right? How did that make you feel? How did that make you feel? And then what's been stopping them from actually getting coverage, because you can kind of find their pain points there. And then just getting an agreement like, well, wouldn't it make sense just to get this done today and have peace of mind by the end of this? And they almost 80-90% of the time say yes. If they say no, they're going to say no and be like, well, this and this and this is, you know, coming up in my life. So now you can attack that objection early before you go and close. Okay, so that's regarding current life insurance. The second thing is if the family already has a policy, what I like to do is, so let's say they say, yes, I already have a policy. I'm like, perfect, thank goodness. We're going to save so much time today. Instead of me sitting here for like 15, 20 minutes and asking you all these questions, will you just go grab that policy for me, and then I can just get right to the numbers? They're like, yeah, sure. So then you can actually get out their policy, verify what it is. If it's not a good policy, obviously, you know, you can put them in a better financial situation, get them a better plan, more affordable or more coverage. Or at least at that point, they just know what they got. And let's say they do have a good policy. So I say, okay, cool, Vanessa. So it looks like this policy is great. You have $20,000 in place. I'm assuming that you just set this up to pay for your final expenses. They go, yeah. Okay, perfect. So now what we got to do is we just got to look at replacing your income for your son when you pass away. She goes, well, I never thought about it. Be like, Yeah, well, once your final expenses are paid, you said you make about $4,000 a month, so that's about $48,000 a year, right? She goes, yeah. Like, okay, so if you died today or tomorrow and you lived another 10 years, that's $480,000 that your son's going to be missing. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a policy in place for income replacement just so he can still have that same quality of life, same quality of living. Would that make sense for you? She goes, yeah, I never thought about it like that. So cool. So whenever they have a policy, just assign it to something and then just create another problem. All right. And then the third thing is medical questions. I think this is actually super powerful that I've just started doing. But so when you guys are getting into the medical information, you obviously want to ask like cancers, heart attacks, strokes, and then what medications they're on. And I add two things. So I always ask like, all right, so Tim, how old was your mom and how old was your dad when they passed away, or are they still living? And typically they say, well, mom died at 76. She just, she smoked a lot. She drank quite a bit and then ended up just dying of some, pancreas, liver problems, whatever it is. And you're like, okay. And then what about dad? Well, dad actually died at 56 from a heart attack. Oh, God. Okay, I'm sorry about that. And then you just write that down. And then I always ask about brothers and sisters. So, Tim, do you have any brothers and sisters? They go, yes. I ask about their health. And then let's say like their brother just got diagnosed with cancer or like any health condition at all. What this is doing, guys, is just establishing like death is real, because it's really hard for us as humans to really imagine us dying, like to really feel that. But when you can essentially like bring in their environment, bring in their family, and that they're not going to live forever, by asking these questions, it allows them to realize like, I can get sick. I could get cancer. Like my brother has cancer. My mom died of pancreas cancer. My dad died of heart attack. Like God only knows when something like this is going to occur for me, right? So it kind of just ignites not fear, but a reality, right? It's a reality check, these questions. And then I always get those down. I'm like, okay, great. And then I just carry on from that. But I genuinely do feel that just creates a reality check for the clients. And then the last thing that I'll end with is if you guys are able to sell them a product with living benefits. So living benefits are critical chronic terminal illnesses, which cover, heart attacks, major cancer, organ failure, ALS, et cetera, et cetera. What I like to do is I say, like when I'm closing, I go, okay, so this is a $50,000 plan. It covers you for critical chronic terminal. It'll cover you for cancers, heart attacks, strokes. So in the scenario of your brother, when he had a heart attack, how much time off of work did he have to take? Well, he actually had to take like 18 months off. Like it was not good, Wylie. Like, okay, so could you imagine taking 18 months off right now if you had a heart attack, Bob? He goes, no. Like, okay, well, the good news, if you do have a heart attack, as long as you get it certified by a physician, you can get a check processed for up to the face amount, right? And so this is something you can lean on when you get sick. But would that help you out? Do you feel like that would help you out? And he goes, yeah, absolutely, right? So now you're just like pretty much allowing them to see like how they can use this product. And that's a great way to explain living benefits, is by setting it up with stories of their family and other members passing away. So that is the secret financial inventory and trial closes. I hope that helped. I hope I didn't talk too quick, and I'll catch you guys next time.